My name is Jacob Saul. I'm the author of The Reckoning, and I just wrote a new book, Free Market. Taiwanese economic history looks a lot like the history that I'm showing in my book from the 17th and 18th centuries. We can learn from this the complexity of how you actually create a rich country. And Taiwan's history is actually pretty complex and interesting, and it doesn't fit some model. By the way, if you Wikipedia Taiwanese economy, it says Taiwanese economy is a modern free market economy. I'm like, sure, but you know, everyone's asking me, what should Taiwan's strategy be with its chip company? And I'm like, isn't the chip company a private company? No, it is a private company. It's totally enmeshed with the government and the country. That's the way it's always worked. So it's a question of not getting the government out, but what kind of government, good government, and how much of it, and what your strategy is. And again, this is what the book is all about. And so this book is like, I could have called it the history of the market, but it is this struggle around free market because so many of the people today who are called mercantilists or considered statist figures from the 16th and 17th century, before anyone really came up with free market thought, didn't think of themselves that way. A lot of them said, we want liberty of commerce and trade, but to have that, we need to build our economy and our market first. So as a historian, by the way, you have to listen to your dead people. Listen to your witnesses. Don't put words in their mouth. I mean, you really think globalism, like the numbers are dead, but this is still happening. This is global, this is the global economy. I think a lot of it might just move to Vietnam. That's what I've actually been looking at it, and that's what's happening. The global economy is moving around. Taiwan has, since the 1870s, been kicked around between powers. Japanese first Qing dynasty only partially takes over Taiwan, and then the Japanese actually take over part of Taiwan in the 1870s, and then it's never stopped being a kind of vague international zone between great powers. But Taiwan has actually emerged as a really successful place. And I think Taiwan needs to continue being successful, but I also think that Taiwan is part of this great sort of tech economy, and therefore Taiwanese wealth doesn't actually have to just be in Taiwan. Wealth is knowledge and secret knowledge, and that knowledge can be all over the globe, right? And by the way, that's how the tech industry works. It doesn't just all happen here. It happens in Holland, it happens in Japan, it happens, I mean, the Taiwanese chip industry is also dependent on this global system. So I think, first of all, geographically diversifying Taiwanese wealth is absolutely possible, but also just reinvesting in Taiwan. I don't know, a lack of pride in Taiwan and a lack of investment and celebration in the good things in Taiwan, I think that's a disadvantage. You know, the world, when you talk about it, I talk about this all the time, when you say, oh, you know, Japan, France, Italy, these are the places with the greatest cuisines. No one mentions Taiwan. Taiwan definitely, arguably has one of the greatest cuisines in the world, but like beyond sort of measure. No one even knows that. Like a few people in the know that. Taiwan's not really good at tooting its own horn, celebrating itself. It's also not good at investing in itself in the way it needs to. So I think actually that's where the strategy can't be nihilistic and like, let's run away. Taiwan needs to actually invest in itself. And that is a story of private companies, but also the government investing in higher education, research, culture, the humanities. If everyone says it's only going to be STEM and tech, it's going to make Taiwan a place that's actually quite dull and doesn't celebrate its grand culture. Taiwan has a lot of culture that can actually make it, that's wealth that is not being tapped. So that's actually what I think.